Right. So welcome back. Actually, the podcast, I've kind of named it, I don't know, the opportunity forum. I haven't had a chance to put it out to each and every one of the subscribers or followers on YouTube, on it's not even called Twitter, it's just called the X now, isn't it? And Facebook. But Ricardo did say, we need to probably think about a name for the podcast. I haven't thought of a name yet. But I'll put a question out there. But welcome to my family members again. Gabs, what's happening, man? What's happening? You all right, Gabs?
Oh yeah, sorry. I just realised that I've lost you in terms of I can only see myself.
No, because I put you.
Oh, you put me. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Okay, sorry. I was just pressing my thing when I just saw myself. Yeah. No, all good. I'm very good, very well as always. Great week here in Melbourne in terms of weather. It's autumn here, but the weather is absolutely beautiful. 21, 22 degrees Celsius. So and sunny. So beautiful.
Nice,
and
nice
yeah.
Nice one. Yeah. And Ricardo, what's happening? We're in Arsenal.
Busy week as usual. I mean, the weather over here has been fantastic. No complaints. And yeah, it's nice to see, in London when the sun is out, people start changing their mood. People start smiling a little bit more. So it's different. It's nice. So ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Nice one. Yeah. So we're just kind of talking about what we're going to talk about this this podcast. And I kind of lined something up to be a little bit controversial. As people know, I can be very controversial. Doing YouTube for like 7+ years, built up like 21,000 followers. Actually, it's like more like 23,000 subscribers and followers across all platforms. But I wanted to kind of talk about this. It's called, actually, it's not called the 40-40-20 rule. It's called the 40-40-40 plan. Now, you might be thinking, I've not heard of that before. Well, what it talks about is like you're working 40 hours per week. And in those 40 hours, you're like working 40 years. And then you, at the end of your work life, you get 40% of your retirement. And I know, Gabriel, I think there's just been a comment now.
Sorry. Yeah. Alex, it's funny that, because when you look at that, and it's great, and just for the viewers here, you would have thought, okay, what's the 40-40-20 rule? It's like, you know, in terms of expenditure, the household, what you do is that with the income, it could mean that. You can turn it, you can, saving 40% of your, say 40% for expenses, 40% for, incidentals or things like that, and then 20% for saving. And that's what it would look like. Yeah, right.
Well, you beat me to it, man. You spoke it.
Oh, so. But there's a twist to that, and that's all right. I'll leave the twist to you, man. I'll leave the twist to you.
Well, what I was going to say, Gabs, because I think we spoke about this, maybe it was last week, the week before, about, for me, like just being blindsided and like brainwashed into thinking when you leave school, you might go to university and then go and find yourself a job. And you were saying actually that literally it serves the industry. 9 to 5 serves an industry. Gabs, I've got no problem with that at all. But where I kind of, just go in a different direction is, if somebody is purposely going to plan to go to university and want to go into a 9 to 5, that's no problem. But it's where I kind of have a problem is where before you know it, you've left school, you may have gone to college, you found a job that literally you weren't really looking for. And after 40 years, Gabs, you've been working 40 hours per week. You've been working for 40 years, and before you know it, the 40 years come to an end, and here comes retirement, where you're thinking, what the hell happened? What's happened? Yeah. And I've got to say, Gabs, there is Gabriel and Ricardo, I've just been doing some little bit of research. I'm not sure whether you guys know this. This is research done by Gallup, and they say 85% of people who have 9 to 5 jobs hate their jobs. They hate their job. So it does serve a purpose, a 9 to 5. But why is it we've got 85% of people who are in work hate their jobs, Ricardo? Why is that?
I mean, to be honest, we see that every day. We see in our 9 to 5 places that the big majority of people are just doing it just to pay the bills. I mean, some people, which is sad. You know, you should be doing something that you enjoy. You should be doing something that, of course, it's gonna give you the income that you want, but at the same time, it will give you satisfaction. The big majority of people don't work for satisfaction anymore. People work just for the income. We are in that kind of rat race where the most important thing for us have become the bills. We are like machines, you know. We just live to pay the bills and anything else. And this is the kind of a culture we have. This is what have been created for us and for the people who cannot think outside the box. This is what it is. Every time when I see, this is real. I have a lot of people in America I know, good people. And every time I see somebody we're having a tragic incident in the family, and now they need to create a GoFundMe page because they need money to bury the person, or they need to send the person to another country. I said to myself, well, so what you have been doing? You have been working like a dog for this year, and you haven't got even money to bury your family or to bury the people that you like. You need to create a GoFundMe page because you got nothing. And man, it's just crazy, sad. This is going back to the same thing. People just working, just
Absolutely.
and doing what they try to do. What they, we suffer to them. Yeah.
And
Gabs, you want to jump in, Gabs?
yeah. So I'm jumping in. So the thing is, you got to understand that what it is that, you know, the government, when you look at the government itself, right, how it sells the dream, right? Sell the dream, you know what I mean? It's the selling the dream, right? How are you going to, you know, get in a job, you know, get into school, get school, get the grades, right? Get the grades, and then go to university, and then get, you know, and then from there go to the next job. And that necessarily may not be what everybody wants. Some people want that and follow career, and they want to do it. And I've seen that in many aspects, you know, in many aspects where people love to do that. But there's certain people who are just following because the masses, because they literally said, oh, I just want to, you know, oh, so and so's doing that, or maybe I should figure out, and they're pressured to do something like that, which is not necessarily what they want to do. Now, the other thing is to that, the spin side of that is that there are people that there's certain people like that who could be entrepreneurs, who could be looking for something else. I don't know, like whether it's even sport, they wanted to do something in sport or any other things that they wanted to do, which is their, you know, it's basically their dream, whatever they dream. So sometimes some of these guys, especially when you take it from school, is they're not even allowed to dream. In fact, some teachers will turn around and go to them and go, "You'll never amount to anything," because they're expected to follow this, and it's not suited for them. You know, there's not something that they really want to do. But the teacher looks at them and says, "Oh, you're not, you know, you're not pulling up the grades. You don't seem disinterested, all that." And then all of a sudden, the teacher just looks at them and says, "You know, you're just a waste of time." And in that respect, that's even putting them down. And the thing is, what I've seen, and we know this, Alex, is that in school, when you've got teachers doing that to kids and telling them you amount to nothing, everything, they rebel and then come out of school and possibly even turn to crime and things like that because they've got nothing to role model on, right? You know what I'm saying? So, that's the downside of it. The upside of it, there are certain individuals that go, "I'll show you, teacher. I'll show you," and then they strive, and then they go and they strive, and they become very successful in life. And then they look at the teacher and say, "You're still a teacher, or you retire from a teacher, but look at me." Do you know what I mean? So those are the examples. Yeah.
Ricardo, for some reason, there's been a comment, but I can't put it on the screen. It's come from the English Conversation Club, and they say, Ricardo, the government relies on people who are sleepwalking, don't plan, for the future?
You know, yes, yes and no. I would say yes and no because it's like Gabriel is doing. Was talking about. Yes, the government need these people to fit in this job, but these people that some of them their dream have been killed a long time ago. Some of them they just have been. It's like when you are taking the cows to the to the to the slaughter place. Take us to there. I mean, there's no auction. They don't show us any auction, and some of them, so the big majority of us, we don't look for auctions. We just take what's given to us. Right? We say, hold on a minute. No, I think there is something over there on the other side. Let me try to get to the other side. But the other majority of people, because I see that every single day in my workplace, people, young people, doing jobs that I say, my God, why are you doing this? At your age, you should be looking for something else. And you just giving this, taking this and giving to you and trying to secure you as the best of your abilities. But no, I mean, you are young, you are strong, you're mentally capable of doing something else that can basically help you more with your economy, but also we open different avenues. So it is 50-50. Yes, it's the government needs that kind of people to carry on doing the mundane things, but some of these people, it's just they're gonna drive because I've been shut down for a long time ago. And everything start from early education, believe me. Early education, I've seen it with my daughter. I've seen it with my daughter, I've seen it us going to parent evening, I've seen it the way the language that the teachers use it to them. And it wasn't for because of me, my ex-partner, we were quite clued on in education and we know a potential. We try to push every single day to a kid. If you weren't that type of parents that they are set what the teachers say, it will be we will be one of those that will be killing the dreams of the of my daughters from early beginnings. Okay, so it's 50-50. Some people just go there and take it, but some people are being shut down for a long time ago and just like how going straight to the slaughter.
So there's a video that I play once in a while in my WhatsApp group, and it's got a particular Hollywood A-lister actor voicing over the video. It's a motivational video, and there are a couple of things that kind of struck me in this video. One, where he's talking about because we're all going to pass, and it depends what you leave behind for the next generation. But when you're on your deathbed, are you going to have all these dreams and aspirations, stood over you and saying, right, well, what happened? You could have put life into those dreams, and we have to go to death with you. And I thought, wow, that's something. I guess I'm going to have some of those around me when I pass. But something else he said actually is that if you are wanting something different in your life, you have to be willing to do something to get something that you've never been. Do you understand what I mean, Gabe? Yeah. Absolutely. In order to get something, you have to be able to do that to get a different outcome. And a lot of us are doing the same thing every single day, every single year, hoping for a different change.
Yeah, expecting the change, right? And nothing. You can wake up the next day, and next, and then it's the next week, and then it's next month, and nothing has changed, right? It's not going to change. You don't expect it to change because you haven't changed something that you're doing in order to change the outcome. That's right. So that's exactly. So people, and I've seen it, man. I've seen it. You walk in, as Ricardo mentioned, people, you go in there, you go in there, and I mentioned a couple of weeks back when we had that chat when we were saying that day when we were young back then, where we were like when I said I'm a teenager. And we did those canvassing, and we walked, and we were standing outside the stage, and you see the rat race of the people. And that people, they had no smile on it. It's almost like, geez, it was, half of it for me, it almost looked scary because I thought I was going to be you know what I mean? These people look vexed that I thought I was going to be attacked. Do you know what I mean? Because all of a sudden I'm trying to speak to them about something, and they're telling you to, to literally go away or just leave me alone. Or, do you know what I mean? And you can see the acts because they're rushing to get them. There's no happiness. I do remember a couple of people. I do remember that I was able to, that were really, had a smile on their face. And then when you looked at the smile, well, then you think to yourself, wow, if there's someone I've got to approach this person. But that's one or two out of hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it made me, and I remember thinking to myself, man, is this, because I'm, obviously still, just finishing school. And I'm thinking, is this how the life is outside work? So outside school, and this is how the big world is in terms of vacation and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, I don't know whether I want this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. So that's the reality right there. Yeah.
But I'm not coming from a place of I know it all. I'm saying that because we have all been part of the 9-to-5 rat race.
100%.
Dave was right. It serves an industry, but don't get caught up in it so much that you lose sight of all your ambitions, all your dreams. And at the end, again, 40 years, the 40-40-40 rule, you're thinking, where did it all go? What about all my aspirations? What about all my dreams? What about all the things that I wanted to do? So
think of that.
Do it, but have a plan, because there was another statistics I was reading there. There are 98 people who use, who drive to get to a destination. So they plan their route to get to the destination. But how many of us actually plan our route for our life? Not many of us. Not many of us actually plan, what we want to achieve. Again, the plans, the dreams, aspirations, and going back and just checking, have I done this? Right, tick it off. I haven't done that. Why haven't I done that? Not many of us have actually goals and dreams. So, Ricardo, you want to say something?
No, I was just listening to you, and it came to my mind this whole proverb. I think it's not a proverb. It's basically the definition. Doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting a different result is called insanity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how on earth it won't happen. It won't happen. You just want to get what. And the other thing is, Alex and Gabriel, we are in a society where people think that they deserve things. More than 50-60% of the people think that they deserve it. I deserve a better life. I deserve it. No, you're gonna deserve what you are able to achieve, what you are able to work for. It's not about deserving thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to work for it. So if you see and you dream, but you don't execute, you don't plan, you don't fall. Why? You don't fall. You don't come back again. You're not gonna get it. It's not about what you deserve. Everybody, I deserve a better life. I deserve a beautiful wife. I deserve a nice car. Yeah, but you need to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this what you're saying there, Ricardo. I mean, people should say, yeah, I'm deserving of this. Yes, I agree. People should say to themselves, deserving of it. But to be in a way where somebody's going to give it to them, right? Someone's going to it's not going to be like that. You don't expect someone to give it to them. You've got to go out there and go for it, right? So in order for you to say, I deserve a better life. I deserve, to be have success in this and that. Yes, that has to be one of the traits that you got to have in order for you to succeed, right? Because if you think you're not deserving of anything, you know what I mean, you're going to have your doubts in your mind, which are going to pull you back, right? So absolutely, so yes, some of these people but it's the deserving, what they're deserving of it is, it has to be in a way that you have to work for it. You have to make that, or you have to actually change, have that mindset to say, all right, I'm gonna go for it in order to change that outcome. I know I deserve this and everything. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely.
But you know what, Gabs? There's also another saying, I can't remember who actually said this, is that we are the sum total of our actual presence. So all the things that you have, the position you are in now, you've put yourself in that situation. You have presented that. All your habits, your mindsets, everything, if what you have has put you in that situation now. If you want to better that situation, like it says there, you have to change something about that. Whether it's your mindset, whether it's your ambitions, your motivations, you have to change something. And as Ricardo says, that's the sign of madness. You're doing the same thing every single time. And at the end of the day, you're thinking, why do I have the same salary? Because you've got to change something. You have to change something. And a lot of people are like that, Ricardo. They're thinking at the end of the day, why do I have the same, salary? Why do I have the same problems? Because you're doing the same routine every single day. Change your routine. Change it.
Change it. Yeah. Do something different. Absolutely. Go against the grain there.
Go against the grain. Yeah. Do something different. Now, Ricardo, do you want to say something before I go into?
No, it's it's not like I have anything. People wait, but this is more typical example. Sometimes they say, "Oh my God, look at me! I put on weight so much. Look at it." Yes, but that didn't happen overnight. It's not like you go to bed and you wake up that way. You have been so something you've been doing repeatedly every single day. You are posting to that. You accept it, and now look at the results. Mm-hmm. We are as you mentioned before. We are in the situation that we are, but we because at some point we just accept it. We let it happen to us. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we because nobody's a tree. We are not a tree. We can move and change. The move and change. We can pick and choose.
Absolutely. Choices. We've got choices, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said to you last week about someone who's close to me said they don't know, what they can do differently. I said, no. If you're thinking like that, then you're not going to change anything. The greatest thing that God gave us is the mind of creativity. We all have creative minds. We all have dreams and aspirations. But use that creativeness to put it in action. Put it into action. Gabs, there's been a comment here for you. Actually, I'll let you respond to the question. It says, what's the 40-40-20 rule, Gabriel?
I think Gabriel. What's the 40-40? Okay, so what you'll see when and as I said earlier on, it can be interpreted a couple of ways, because the 40-40-20 rule, when you look it up, what it actually means is that in terms of your income, right? So in terms of your income, you say you put 40% for bills, for bills and taking care of all expenses, and then there's the 40% for incidentals, right? So incidentals are things like that, something that comes up unexpected, right? And then the 20% is actually what you do in terms of investments. Saving investments and things like that, right? So you got to put something. That is the ideal situation, right? That's the ideal situation, and not a lot of people do that, because what people tend to do is, I tell you what, is okay. I understand income can be pretty tight. Probably just do one, maybe 90 to 80%. 80 to 90% on expenses. And then I've got a little bit of incidentals, and then all of a sudden the expenses are probably gone because your incidentals have come up, and then you've got nothing left, or you're even running into the red, right? So that's what the people, and then there are people who just think, okay, I've got no money, but most of them just want to just spend it, right? So you buy expensive, nice, very nice car, you know what I mean? You're just spending so much stuff on whatever it is, clothes, house, and everything, just far exceeding your expenses. Those things. That's a situation where what happens then is that you get yourself into debt, and that's what I'm saying, right? So ideal is, when you think with that 40-40, as I explained earlier, 20 rule, is you pretty much mitigate that risk of running into the red, and then, you know, same amount. And not even that, you also preparing for the future as well, because you're putting in investments. I mean, 20 out of that, you know, there's 20 out of 80, right? You know, and they got 80 on the other side, they got 20% just going on the investment and things, just things about the future, and then growing your nest egg in order for you to, you know, by the time you get to, you know, I mean, even in mid age, you know, it's not, we don't have to think about when you're old, but even to the point where you're, you know, in your 40s, or, you know, even 30s, 40s, going towards into the 50s. By then, you've sorted out your nest egg, because you followed that 20%, and you've become at the point where you're kind of pretty much set, and you think to yourself, okay, well, I've done a lot of investment, I've done well, I could retire and do something which I want to do, because I've got income that's coming in passively, right? That's what we want now. Passively, I don't need to, even when I sleep, even when I go here and there, I've still got income. Nothing's changing. I don't have to exchange any hours or leverage any hours in order for me to work and get income, because I've built my nest egg over using my 20% rule, right? And then being able to have the freedom, the financial freedom in life. That's the key. Yeah.
Yo, guys, I love you, man. I love you, brother, man.
Alex, tell people that we're gonna start charging people for this. For free. No.
So, come on. Yeah. So, and the other thing is, right? So, and I've seen it. The other spin on it is that 40-40-40, right? So yeah, good. I've spent the 40-40. When someone says 40-40-40, you know what? So Alex explained is that 40, you know, 40 hours, 40 hours, 40 years, and 40% of your income in retirement. Now, people that you look at that 40% of your income at retirement, and you think to yourself, oh my gosh, I've been living like comfortably at so and so, you know, with my income, and all of a sudden I'm only getting 40% of my income during retirement.
Exactly.
That hurts. That really hurts. But you think about, you've worked 40 hours, right? Of those 40 years. That's a long time. It's a long time working for that outcome. That's basically it. Yeah.
Ricardo, Gabriel, what I did on the end of the last podcast, I put out a question in regards to, you know, because we were talking about mindset last week, and there was a question I put out. It was, what is more important? Is it a positive attitude, your mindset, being consistent, or having a clear vision? So stuck on 8%, we only had 12 votes. So the subscribers chose your mindset and having a clear vision, 8%. 70% of the votes went to being consistent, and out on a whopping 67% said a positive attitude counts as being most important.
Interesting.
And funny enough, I put the spin on that. Positive outcome, positive, right? Outcome is high, but at the same time, being consistent with it, with that positive mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I will go.
Absolutely. You're gone.
Go away.
So, sorry, Ricardo.
Ricardo, can't hear you.
I will go with you, Gabriel. Yeah, I will go with you in a way. Yeah, I think it's a mindset. That mindset is important. That consistency is, and then being positive, because I think if you have the right mindset, you're always gonna be there. Because as we make it clear to the audience the other day, things will happen. And things happen to us, happen to anybody. But when you have the right mindset, you can navigate and go to that place and come back again and get things done.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. You see the consistency of doing it.
Yeah, consistency doing it, because eventually, you know, yes, you're gonna, as you said, that consistency helps you when you go through the obstacles, right? And when you get the obstacles, you hit those obstacles, and be still consistent. Because at the end of the day, being consistent, oh my gosh, we see this all the time. Being consistent, you will eventually get the outcome you desire.
Completely.
Right? But also oppositely, Gabs, being consistently bad will get you the negative results. So we're talking about doing positive things to get a positive outcome, right?
Oh, consistently being negative, exactly.
Yeah.
Man, oh my goodness, I've seen that with so many people that I'm sure we don't even need science to tell us that. We've seen it.
Well, guys, we have to say this, and we don't want to offend anyone, but there is something that people of the big majority to us has mastered, is we are really good at being broke.
Yeah.
We are really,
yeah. Good point, man. Good point.
Very good. Yeah, very good point. Yeah. Very good at being.
Think about it. We're really good at being broke. You know, we have mastered that one. Really. Right.
There's a couple of comments in the live chat. One of which I do recognize is from Tyrannosaurus. He says, afternoon. These conversations are always very interesting, so thank you. And he's got a question. I'm just still trying to understand the question. He says, is drive one aspect of what people need to make changes from the 9-to-5 life, Gabriel?
Absolutely.
Your drive and determination.
Yeah, it's drive is with the drive, right? So as we go back to the why do you want to do something, right? Then you say, and if that why is so massive, oh my gosh, I need to do this because if I don't, it's gonna be so. Then the drive is there.
Why?
The drive is there. You just go, oh my god, that's just drive me, because it literally is the you know what I mean. It literally is the engine and the boost that you need to get you moving, because that's what it is, right? So that's what. So drive, yes, one of what people is what they need, definitely, to make that change to the 9-to-5. Like, absolutely.
Here,
don't go ahead.
And here is our topic for the next podcast. Is about why. You got it.
It's the why, isn't it? We talk about the why, and when the why, because the why is bigger. Yeah, the why.
Bigger than you, exactly. Bigger than you. If you don't have a why that make you cry, there's not gonna be consistency. There is not gonna be anything. Why are you doing this? I'm being completely brutal and honest with you. And the other thing that people don't like is you need sometimes to do that share how should you say, help? No, you need to check up yourself. Get a mirror, straight to the mirror, look at yourself and question yourself.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say it, because that's exactly what I was gonna say. I never forget the day I looked in the mirror.
See?
What the heck? This has got to change. I can't continue doing this thing. Look in the mirror and go, damn. And I went, I've got to do something now, right? Because I can't stand this. What's the situation that I'm in right now? So I've got to change it. Guess what? That was my, you know what I mean, my why. And then eventually things started to change. Boom.
And Gabriel and Alex, and the other big motivator, is this one. Your card. When you look at your account balance.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
That's another one.
You don't need more leaders. You don't need anybody to tell you anything. Look at your account balance. Look at your age, and look at yourself in the mirror. You can make your own conclusions.
But Ricardo, don't you need a mentor? Don't you need someone to be brutally honest with you?
Oh yes. Yeah,
because we can look in the mirror, and it's a face that we know who's in the mirror. But unless we have an external person who can say, you know what you've been doing or what you're doing is not going to help you for where you want to go. You're not making yourself get to that destination. So I would probably say get yourself a mentor. somebody who's been on a journey, someone who can hold your hand and be brutally honest.
Alex, a mentor, not a friend. We need to make that clear. Don't look and ask a friend, because a friend will probably tell you what you want to hear and not what you need to hear.
Because what you need to hear is something that you're not prepared to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, you look at that person and go, what do you mean? What do you mean? Do you know what I mean?
I mean that.
You can't tell me that. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have to hear it. You have to hear it.
Oh dear. Before we wrap up this podcast, I should have done this disclaimer at the beginning. We're not giving financial advice. We're talking about our experience, our personal experience. But if by any chance you want to be mentored or coached by Ricardo or Gabriel, the email is in the description box and you can reach out to them that way. All right. Anything else we want to say before we wrap up, Ricardo?
Again, thanks for everybody doing here. Thanks for the audience. Thanks for everybody who formulate the little questions and participate. This is how we grow. That's how we grow. You know, having feedback, interacting with people who want more from life. You need to be close to people who I consider, three of us, we are alive. We are not existing. We are alive, and we are active in our family life. We are active in. We know exactly what's going on, because you need to be aware there is something going on out there, and there is some people out there doing some incredible things, and taking shares, taking money here, creating things, and you need to be part of that. And but you need to be close to positive people and people that strong mindset and people who want more. And that's it. I mean, so happy to be here and to continue doing this every Saturday. And yeah, big clap to the audience.
Yeah. Ricardo, for next, I think we're going to be talking about some other topics for next week. But would you mind talking next week about a couple of projects that you're involved in? I know you spoke about the project that we're both involved in on the first podcast.
Yeah.
Would you be happy to talk about it again next week?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Brilliant. And Gabs, as always, man. Yes. Man, I've got to start paying you for your advice, man.
Listen, it's great. Again, you know, people. Some of these people are asking some really good questions, and you know, willing to. If you want to talk to me on a one-on-one, or by all means. I love just to, you know, the journey is a. Always remember that. I'll tell you, I can go on about so many things, aspects of journey, life, and what everything. But I always think what I got to understand is, if you have to try and understand this, enjoy the journey. Yeah. Enjoy the journey. That's if you try and look at enjoying the journey in your life, because yes, even when you look at things, you go, oh my gosh, what happened there, and this I'm having such a day, and then you just come outside of it and you look at it, and then you look at it from the outside in, and then you go, okay, all right, I can deal with this. Wicked.
You know what, before we wrap up, there's been a couple more comments here. I'll give each one of you to time to respond. So Tyrannosaurus says mentoring is critical to guide you to avoid these pitfalls in life and to spur you on. That's right, isn't it, Ricardo? You need the mentor, man. Yeah, the mentor isn't going to tell you things that you want to hear. He's going to tell you things that you're not going to want to hear.
Exactly. That's one thing. Now you need somebody who take you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for your things you do, and for the things that you promise you will do, because we are really good at promising things as well, but the big majority of time we don't take it through. So you need to have that person who is gonna be, will take your, you know, gonna be you mentor, your accountability partner, who's gonna be the person who tell you as it is, also gonna guide you, because we all need guidance. And if you look at the big people have done something, they all have mentors, they all have people working around, then a team of people, because it's difficult for you to achieve that amount of thing on your own. So having a mentor is compulsory.
Brilliant. Gab, I'll give you the last comment, man. He says, man, I try to avoid looking at myself so the mirror is out, but I feel exactly what you are saying. So he doesn't like looking at himself in the mirror, Gabs.
Wow. Yeah. Well, listen. Hey, look at this, man. I say this. You don't like what you see in the mirror. I mean, some days you're not. You know, you can look at it, but you just got to face it. You have to face that mirror. You have to look at yourself and everything like that. Because sometimes, as I said, you probably don't like what you see, right? Because of, you know what I mean. You got to start looking at yourself and say, well, I've got to change this, and yep, I don't like what I see, but I can change it, and then start looking at yourself in a more positive light. Yeah. And I think, because the days in the mirror, of course, everyone must have a down, your down days and down times and everything like that. But you just got to switch it and look yourself in the mirror and say, oh, okay, well, look, listen, I'm going to change this. And look at yourself. Even still, you know what? I will say this other thing as well. Sometimes you can do something, even if it's something like you're going for a run or walk, or maybe you went to, I don't know if anyone who goes to the gym or something like that. Sometimes even things like that, anything that makes you feel good, and then you look in the mirror. You know what I mean? You feel good.
Yeah.
You've done everything. Then you look in the mirror. You can actually change the way you start looking at yourself in the mirror and start saying yourself things. Those certain things. You just got to find that what's going to make that look more positive, and how you look at yourself. You know what I mean? Because looking at your mirror and saying to yourself, the mirror's out and everything like that, means that is a reflection of what you think of yourself. You need to change it.
Absolutely. And he's just put a last one in there for everyone. And he's just saying, good luck, fellas, in your life and in your respective journeys. Oh my goodness. For me, Alex has always been an inspiration. So thank you for that. That means a lot. That means awesome. A lot. Thank you for that. So we're done. We're done. I need to get my checkbook out, man, to pay Gabriel and Ricardo, man. The check will be in the post, man.
Oh dear.
All right, guys. So that's it. It's been a shorter podcast, but this one for me has been even more interesting. And again, we're not giving financial advice. We're just talking about our experiences and the people we've met and the things that we've done for our lives. And the time's gone very quick, but we need to learn from these errors that I made. Gabriel made mistakes. Ricardo's made mistakes, but we learn from them. And we also have a vision of where we are going to and where we're going to end up. Anyway, Gabriel, Ricardo, and everyone's watching, thank you. Tune in next week when we're probably going to be headlighting Ricardo and some projects that he's involved in, and also Gabriel as well. Yep. Until then, take care, guys, and we shall see you next week. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Cheers. Bye. Bye. Oh.
What is that? Oh. It's gone.
Hold on a sec. Let me get him back.
All right.
See?
Is he back?
Hold on, just sent him a message.
He might be busy when he's not here.
Opportunity for one podcast.
Oh God, I need to go.
Oh, you pressed the wrong button. He pressed the wrong button.
Oh.
He pressed the wrong button. Oh my goodness. Hold on a minute.